Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video character spotlight on a brand new character for the Walking Dead television series. We know him up until now in terms of his sort of name that's been released out there so far. Andrew J. West character making his appearance in the finale of Season 4, probably also going into Season 5 as a main series regular character, and that is of Gareth. Going to answer the question, who is Gareth? Okay, good stuff. So it was announced way back in November 22nd. For those of you guys who have been following the channel since then, you'll remember when I did a video talking about Andrew J. West cast as a character for The Walking Dead Season 4 when they released it. Now, his name up until now we know of as Gareth. That could just be a screen name. It could be something else. If it is, I'll change the title of this video afterwards to reflect the name change. Sometimes they release a certain name for a character. Then when we see him in the series, he'll have a different name. I wouldn't be surprised if they just called him Chris. The reason being is because in the Walking Dead comic book series, we have the leader of the Hunters who is named Chris, and he has an insanely striking resemblance to Andrew J. West. Let's take a look. This is actually the thumbnail I used for the video, but you get the gist, the idea here. Of course, the facial structure, the smirk, the sort of half smile, he has, I would say, a perfect resemblance to Chris, the leader of the Hunters from the Walking Dead comic book series. Even better resemblance than our previous villain, David Morrissey, to the Governor, where David Morrissey doesn't really look like the Governor. I think they more chose him just because of his tremendous acting ability to play that part, and also because the Governor from the comic book series he's kind of ugly, to be honest with you. He's really ugly, and he doesn't play that sort of clean-cut pretty boy, speaker type role that David Morrissey plays at the beginning of the Governor before Michonne takes one of his eye and he gets all uglied up at the end of season 3. But anyway, back to Andrew J. West playing Gareth. As you can see, it's pretty obvious. They chose him because he is the spitting image of Chris, the leader of the Hunters from the comic book series. And if you guys are looking to see the comic book version of the character, or how they basically, it was really two characters in the comic book series in terms of what we know so far. The trade you're looking to read is Fear of the Hunters, which is this one right here. So that's the one you're looking for. It's volume 11 in the trade paperback series. You'd have to look up the issue numbers exactly online if you're going to try to find the issues. But yeah, there's basically two characters that, from what's been released so far, we can deduce to be combined to be Gareth. And they've basically put out there that Andrew J. West, I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check it out, is a remix of sorts of two characters from the comic book series. It seems as though they have taken Father Gabriel, who is one character who basically is not used a whole lot in the comic book series. He's fairly interesting, but I feel like he's kind of thrown in there to sort of mislead us to think that he's a part of something, and then at the end he's not, and he's just kind of put in there to be, I think, a different type of character that we're not used to seeing in the comic book series, a different type of survivor, which is cool to see, and he is fairly useful later on with his, obviously his skills as a pastor. I've done a video talking about a Gabriel character spotlight. If you want to check that out, go to the channel, type in Gabriel in the search tool, and you will find it. So that said, who is the new television series version? Well, we'll have to see a lot of things play out with him first. We can't say for sure just yet because we're literally just meeting him for the first time in the finale. And season 5, I'm sure he'll have a huge influence. He'll probably be the main villain, the main leader type character for that first half of the season, at least driving the beginning of the season. I highly doubt they're going to resolve him at the end of season 4. It'll probably go on through. So that said, want to kind of give my thoughts on him and let you guys know who he is exactly. He's a remix in terms of what we know so far between Gabriel and Chris. So he's the leader of the Hunters, and then at the same time he has the religious part of him as well too, which is Father Gabriel from the comic book. So they've mashed the two together essentially, which is kind of freaky and kind of fun too, because though that's a weird combination, you got to admit between a pastor from the comic book series that's surviving the zombie apocalypse by basically locking everybody out and surviving on what he has, and hasn't basically killed anybody, probably not even killed one walker, and Chris, leader of the Hunters. So you have sort of a very dark character in this mixture of the religious aspect and also the hunter cannibalistic aspect as well too. And I'm really excited to see kind of how they portray him in the TV series. From what we've seen so far in the New Zealand promo, he seems like he's going to be one of those very egotistical type characters, one of those very pompous type guys, even though he's really, he's really skinny, and I get that sense from Chris too. Physically, he's not going to be tough at all. He's not going to be strong. If Rick could grab a hold of him, he'd probably just wring his damn neck, right? But because he's got this whole trap set out with Terminus, he's got probably a good sized group. I'm thinking at least 3-4 guys with him, probably more, including Mary. I'm looking forward to seeing some really exciting stuff from him, and he makes for a great villain. I really like this season how they kind of have taken some horror archetypes, I want to say, for some scary characters that have been used before many times in movies. The little girl, for example, with Lizzie, which is freaky. I'm thinking any horror movie with a innocent 11-year-old, 12-year-old type girl. I mean, there's so many of them. It's just crazy to think of that archetype. And now this archetype too, which is somebody who's sort of like a mastermind type character, an evil mastermind, physically by himself, not intimidating, not strong, probably doesn't have much skills, but evil and planned, like set up traps, using other characters to his will, and forming his own group that survive in their own way. Extremely dangerous. A thinking type villain, just like the governor, except maybe more intellectual based on how he approaches things. Right? I wouldn't see the governor as setting some kind of big, illustrious trap like this for people. The governor was more offensive. He would go out and he would grab people. He'd go out to the military guys and he would kill them all. Right? It was very intelligent how he did it, but kill them all. He would. He was not afraid to get out there. This guy is more like, I'm going to lure you in, and I'm going to essentially give you some false promises with Terminus, and then I'm going to kill you, and then I'm going to take all of your resources that you have down to the bare bone. So yeah. So anyway, kind of a dark group of characters, some of the most horrifying I think in the entire Walking Dead series, even scarier than Negan, probably the governor, any of these other types of villains that we've had so far. And I'm very excited to see what they do with Gareth in the Walking Dead television series, both in the season 4 finale and going forward in the Walking Dead season 5. I think they can get a lot of time out of him. He could be a villain for the whole season 5. 16 episodes, you can do some really interesting stuff with him depending on how you want to go with this. Maybe they'll just do 8 episodes or just a few at the beginning and have it resolved, or maybe they'll have him be a very intimidating threat all the way through the season. And of course, hopefully soon, we'll find out what the hell he did with Beth. I think it's safe to assume at this time that he was the one that took Beth, and that she's probably somewhere nearby, whether she's alive or dead or whatever the case may be. I hope we see that resolved at the end of season 4, or at worst case, early season 5. I hope we see something with that soon so we can kind of get resolution for what exactly happened there. But I think it's a safe bet to say that he was probably responsible in one way, shape, or form. Him or his men, one of the two, responsible. Very scary character in terms of his intellectual mind games, so to speak, that he plays, and how he sets these things up for people. Very intellectual character, and fascinating. Very fascinating. A formidable foe, I would definitely say, for Rick's group at this time, and I'm sure we're going to get at least a few character deaths out of seeing him on the series. I'd be very surprised if they don't make good use out of him and he doesn't get a lot of time in the series. I'd be very shocked. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about Gareth, what you think about the hunters themselves, this cannibalistic group that hunts people down and sets up traps for them in this world, and what you think about the fact that they've kind of taken Chris from the books, integrated him with Gabriel, and given us this twisted, really dark type character. Very scary. Love it. I think he's going to be a great villain, and look forward to seeing everything from him in late season 4, early season 5, most likely. I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think about Gareth. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.